Happy Friday, everybody. This is a new show brought to you by Tailgate TV and, of course, sponsored by Tailgate Sports. It's called Money in the Bank, where I'm Justin Paura, he's Justin Butterman, a.k.a. Butters, and we're going to give you the best college football and NFL picks of the week. We're going to do 3 college games, and then we're going to get into the best NFL games on Sunday. Nothing really to do other than that, except, we're talking spreads, we're talking over-unders, we're talking money lines. Really excited for this show. Butters, what about you?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this show. This is something I'm passionate about.
You got me into gambling.
Yeah, I like making money, and I like sports, so let's do
help
this
everyone
show.
else.
Let's help everyone else. Let's do it.
And no need to just keep it all to ourselves. All right, so first thing we got to talk about is the college games. These are going to be tomorrow on Saturday. And the first one, the 12:30 game, number 12 West Virginia going on the road to take on number 25 Texas Tech.
So, the over is 73. I know it's high, but without a doubt, I'm taking it. I'm thinking over could be 100 in this game. This is the typical Big 12. I don't know what defense is. Someone show me what it is. I never will find it out. This game is going to be like another typical 65-60. West Virginia, I feel like 3 times a year is in one of these games where it just goes to like 65. They score 70 points.
Well, you have Texas Tech, who over their last 3 games have averaged over 60 points per game. That includes on the road against Oklahoma State, a top 15 team at the time. And then you have West Virginia, who has a potential top 20 pick in the 2019 NFL draft. And
potential Heisman as well.
Exactly.
That was early, but he's been in the votes quite a bit.
Over 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns in just 3 games this season. 73, I know it sounds like a lot, but in college games, points.
And not just college, Big 12 games. This is a typical Big 12 what is defense game of the week.
I agree with that, but another game where I really like the over is Penn State, Ohio State at Happy Valley. It's going to be a whiteout, and these 2 teams, the 2 highest scoring teams
in the league.
That's right.
Dwayne Haskins is one of the best quarterbacks in the world right now.
Talk about Will Grier's a Heisman candidate. Dwayne Haskins right there with him.
Oh my God, is that kid good? But I'm going to go out and say it that not only is Penn State going to cover, they're going to win this game at plus 145. That is my stone cold money line. Take it to the bank. Lock of the decade.
Lock of the decade?
Lock of the decade. It's a whiteout in Happy Valley. Bosa is out. No one's getting to McSorley. They're going to win, and they're going to storm the field. It's going to be happy. Penn State kids are going out. They're partying. It's over. The Penn State is going to win this game.
All right, that's a big take. I like Penn State in this game. If I had to say I'm taking a side, I'm taking Penn State.
And
they're 3.5-point dogs.
In college football, home underdogs they win all the time.
Exactly.
And this is not a bad team. They are number 9 in the country.
The 2 of the 10 best teams in the country.
This is 6 versus 9, correct?
4 versus 9.
4
it was 9. So close to being nice.
Yeah, so close to being nice.
I know.
But this is not Penn State's not a bad. They're number 9 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I know they lost Saquon, but the offense is not seeming struggling at all now.
Not at all. Trace McSorley is still a very good quarterback. He runs the offense very efficiently. What I like, I know you like Penn State. I would prefer Penn State. I definitely think 3.5 is an easy cover.
Oh, yeah.
You like the money line.
Forget about the spread for me. They're winning the money line.
I just
45
points for me, baby. These 2 teams, both of them average 55 points.
And you look at the game last year; it was a very close game.
Yep.
It happened to be Ohio State. I think if that game's at Penn State, they probably won that game last year.
Well, but Ohio State hasn't won the last 2 contests.
And Penn State at home? They're what 20?
They're 24-1 over the last 4 seasons at Happy Valley.
And I don't see a reason they lose this game.
I don't see it either, but honestly, I would parlay them. I would
parlay that in the over. That's a good bet.
It would be a very good bet. You'd make a lot of money.
Plus 145 and minus 110. It's a good parlay right there.
All right, and the game right after that, another top 10 matchup. Number 7 Stanford at South Bend against number 8 Notre Dame. I love Stanford plus 5.5 in this game. Absolutely love it. They went on the road to Eugene, a Pac-12 rival, number 24 Oregon. They were down by 17 points going into half, and the offense led by KJ Costello and Bryce Love at running back completely dominated the second half of that game. Only allowed Oregon to score 7 more points. They win that game in overtime on the road. That proves to me that this team is battle-tested. They're ready to go on the road across the country to take on Notre Dame against a team that, quite frankly, I don't think is very good.
I don't think they're very good either. They have one big win against
Michigan.
One
big win.
But what has Michigan done to prove themselves this year?
Big win. That's not a great win.
Harbaugh has not been impressive this year at all.
No.
And I think Stanford's the best team in the Pac-12. I actually took Stanford at plus 175 to win.
You like
in South Bend, yeah.
The thing is, I don't love whenever a team has to go across the country because, I mean, there's a big difference from California to Indiana, and, I mean, that's where the game's going to be played.
But this is a rivalry game. Like, they play in South Bend almost every other year. Right?
Exactly. So, no, I agree with you.
It's a big deal for Stanford.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I love Stanford, but I have to give them points just for the benefit of the doubt. Notre Dame has played in all close games this season, and while I believe Stanford's the much better team, you mentioned it with Penn State, that home teams just perform so much better.
But I think Penn State is a way better team than Notre Dame, though.
I agree, and that's why I'm taking Stanford, but yeah, I have to go. Plus 5.5 is a lot of points. That means that, they could win by a field goal, they could win by barely a touchdown, and still Stanford's going to take the points. I believe they win this game, but, I'm more conservative to a point where I'm going to have to take them with points. I think it's a very easy pick right there.
If I took money line, of course, I assume they're going to cover.
Right. Well, yeah. I'm just,
so, yes,
your balls to the wall, I'm conservative.
Definitely.
Stanford, though.
The best.
Ride the car.
Stanford with the points is a great pick, but I took the money line. I think they're going to win.
That's more money for you if you take that. And
plus 175.
They do what we both think they're going to do, and that's go and beat the Fighting Irish. All right. So we talked about the kids for a little bit. Let's get to the big boys. The NFL on Sunday, and big divisional game, one that no one really saw coming with the records that these two teams have. The 3-0 Miami Dolphins going to Foxborough to take on the 1-2 New England Patriots. Pats are favorites by 6.5 points.
Before we get into this, I'm going to address the reports that came out last week. I wrote a report. I went over 6. So immediately on Tuesday after the Bucs lost, my lock of the week was a both. Technically, I didn't go over 6. I did say the over was like the lock of the week.
Okay,
against the Steelers.
Fair.
But in terms of picking winners and points, I went over 6.
Right.
So immediately Tuesday morning, I checked myself into a doctor's office. Went to a mental institution, actually. I had to get my brain analyzed. That should never happen. They said, Justin, you have a case of the flu. Your brain was not working right. Rest, take some Advil. So I did that this week, and I think my head's all set. And that being said, I like the Dolphins at plus 6.5.
You love the Dolphins on the road. I mean, look, there's no reason for you to think otherwise about that game because the Dolphins have beaten 3 not great teams, but they're 3-0, and they're only one of 3 3-0 teams left in the National Football League. And, I mean, the other two are probably far and away the 2 best teams in the league right now, at least offensively. You look at the Rams and the Chiefs. Dolphins, I love in this game as well, plus 6.5.
And also, they're 3-0 against the spread this year.
3-0 against the spread. That's the biggest number. Don't look at actual records.
Number one rule of Vegas is when a team is undefeated against a spread, or you take them until they lose. So Dolphins 3-0 against the spread, and New England, I said at the beginning of the year that this might be the beginning of the end for Belichick and Brady.
Well, I think this is going to be a big, benchmark game for New England. Josh Gordon is expected to be suited up in this game. So now you can't have the excuse like, oh, Brady doesn't have any receivers this year. First of all, he never has any receivers.
First of all, he has Rob Gronkowski.
And he still has
You can't say he's not a receiver with his Rob Gronkowski.
So you can't really, you can't blame that anymore. And now that you have Josh Gordon, who is a proven elite wide receiver, he's going to be out on the field. No excuses for New England. I still think Miami goes out. I don't know if they grab the W. They make it close enough for them to cover 6.5 points. It's a divisional game.
And I really think, as I said earlier, with the way this offseason went for Brady and after that Super Bowl loss, that this might be the beginning of the end of that dynasty. We know how Belichick felt about losing Jimmy G. Brady's 41 years old, and their one win was against Houston, which was a very bad team.
Who's clearly
and they won by only 1 point at home.
Yep.
That was a close game.
So. Well, they won by 7. But with the spread, they only won by
1. Oh, you're right.
The spread was -6.
You're right.
But they win 27-20. So in terms of the spread, which is what we look at.
This is what I'm programmed to look at the spread.
As the Patriots are 1-2 against the spread, they are only, in games that they've won with the spread, given 1 point. So that doesn't do anything for me. I really like Miami in this game. They haven't lost against the spread yet. There's no reason to believe otherwise.
Tannehill's been pretty good this year.
He's been great, I think. He's been exactly what they've needed him to be.
Yeah.
But we mentioned New England's only win against the spread this year against an 0-3 Houston team. They're not only 0-3 on the season, 0-3 against the spread, and they're going into Indianapolis to take on the 1-2 Colts. And you know what? You said Penn State's your Stone Cold lock of the decade. For me, my Stone Cold lock of the week has to be the Colts -1 in this game. It's essentially a pick 'em at -1.
I just want to pick 'em. Worst case scenario, you push.
Exactly. And I believe that Andrew Luck is just bound for a breakout game. He missed all of last season. He's really just chomping at the bit to get out there. He's shown you good things, but not great things. I believe this is the week where he really goes out, and wins this one big for Indianapolis in front of the Colts faithful.
Houston 0-3 against the spread as well.
Yep.
0-3 just in general because they're bad.
Bad team.
And, Andrew Luck can throw the ball. Pretty darn good.
He throws the ball very well.
Very far.
Very far, very well. That's why he's a quarterback in the NFL. Exactly. But I think that he just has it all together. He hasn't really put that out on the field yet because, again, this team is 1-2. But if Jack Doyle doesn't fumble in the end zone week 1 against the Bengals, that means they're 2-1.
And they had a chance to win a game in Philadelphia last week.
Right, against the defending Super Bowl champions.
First game back. That was mine. I thought there was no chance Eagles didn't blow them out last week, which is why I went over 6.
Yes.
So I think the Colts, they could have won that game. They had a sack on 4th down, basically ended the game for them. But they were in the red zone with a chance to score a touchdown and win the game in Philadelphia. I think a pick 'em at home, nonetheless, in Indianapolis against Houston. That's a great pick.
I love the Colts. I love it. That's my lock of the week. Take that one to the bank with you every single time. But another one that I think you could count on, I'm not comfortable enough to call it my lock, but I love the over on the Cincinnati-Atlanta game at Atlanta. The Falcons are 3-point favorites, but with the over-under set at 53.5, these are 2 of the best offenses in the league against 2 bottom 10 defenses in the league.
Yeah, we got the spread at 3.5?
Yeah.
3.5? It's going to be, I can see it going any way. This is my typical when in doubt, just over it out.
Yep. And I know the over's high. It's the highest over of the week.
But these are 2 really great quarterbacks.
Exactly. Andy Dalton
is good, and Bengals are 6 in total points this year.
Yep. 6 in total points, and then if you look at the defenses, again, I believe that the Falcons are the 24th best defense in the league. Cincinnati's either at 25 or 26. As you mentioned, no Keanu Neal anymore, no Deion Jones anymore. This defense is crippled. I believe Cincinnati's defense just isn't good at all in that stake. And I believe Andy Dalton's having a good enough year. Tyler Boyd is emerging as a great option at wide receiver. A.J. Green. Giovanni Bernard's probably going to be there in the backfield catching passes.
Calvin Ridley had a breakout game last week.
Yep, there you go on the other side.
Julio Jones is probably a top 3 receiver in the league.
Everyone else thinks he is. He is one of the best deep.
I think he's better than DeAndre Hopkins.
Ooh, that's who you take.
Julio Jones. I think my top 3 receivers right now are Antonio Brown, Odell, and then Julio 3.
I would put Hopkins over Julio, but I believe Julio's in that top 5 range, along with Michael Thomas. And, hey, A.J. Green's in that discussion, too.
The most underrated player ever. He's always putting up crazy numbers. He's always getting
on a team that hasn't won a playoff game.
Yeah. So,
but that has a lot to do with how bad the coach is. Marvin Lewis is a bad coach.
How the hell does that guy have a job?
No idea. They literally re-signed him this year, 2 years.
It's just foolish.
Very foolish.
When in doubt, over it out.
Yes, I love this game to over. It's going to be in Atlanta, which, of course, as we know, a retractable roof. So that means points. We saw what happened last week. It was a 43-37 game between them and the Saints. I mean, if that is the case in this game, which I expect it to be to some capacity, the over's going to hit pretty easily. All right, so another game that you bet on and missed last week, Tampa Bay. They took on the Steelers, but now that they have a loss under their belt, they're taking on another one-loss team. That's the Chicago Bears. That one's at Soldier Field.
So I actually like the Bears in this one.
Okay.
3.5. They're in Chicago, one of the toughest places to go when you get on the road. And Fitzpatrick, for a guy who's been phenomenal, you kind of saw who he was in the first half last week with those 3 terrible interceptions.
3 terrible interceptions all in one quarter.
And that was against the Steelers defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he still put 400 on the board, but he showed signs of who he was, and now he's going against Khalil Mack and Chicago Bears. I don't think it's going to go well for Fitzpatrick this week.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one just because I love taking guys when they're hot. And if you look at the Tampa Bay game last week, Monday night against Pittsburgh, yes, Fitzpatrick had a terrible first half. And I thought the job that he almost kind of solidified in the first 2 weeks of the season, Jameis Winston is now not dealing with the suspension anymore. He's going to be ready to come in at any moment's notice. But then Fitzpatrick kind of made up for it in that fourth quarter. He almost rallied that team together to win that game. I believe they put up 2 touchdowns and another scoring drive. So
their defense just couldn't stop anyone on the Steelers.
Exactly, but they don't have to stop anyone on the Steelers. They have to stop the Chicago Bears. And I do not believe in Mitch Trubisky enough
but I do
to
like
win a
game.
against.
I like Jordan Howard, Tree Cohen. I like him a lot.
And I mean, Tampa Bay is one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL.
Tampa Bay is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They have the best. Their offense.
That's what stands out to me.
Their offense puts up almost 500. Their defense gives up more than 400 every week.
Well, Tampa Bay averages.
On average.
So far this season, over 470 yards per game. Yes, Chicago has only allowed a total of 289 yards per game. I believe it goes somewhere in the middle. I still think Fitzmagic's going to be rolling a little bit. Because if you look at what happened in the fourth quarter, he's fighting for the starting job right now. Jameis Winston is ready to come in at a moment's notice. I think he keeps up his play long enough, just at least, to keep himself the starting job. And this is going to mean it's a close game. I like Tampa with points. I
think it'll be close. I think, but 3.5.
If it's what the Pittsburgh game was last week, I mean, they only lost that game by 3.
3, yeah. I mean,
and I believe Pittsburgh's a much better team than Chicago.
This is a good test for Trubisky.
Yes, a very good test, and I don't know if he's going to step up to the plate.
He's just too conservative.
Yeah.
If Najee lets him go out there and throw the ball to Allen Robinson,
I think Allen Robinson, if you're a fantasy player, he might have a very big game this week.
This is a good opportunity for Trubisky to actually do something.
I don't know if he will, though. I'm not betting that Trubisky will do anything. That's why I love Tampa Bay plus 3.5.
I think the Bears win by a touchdown.
All right.
Close game.
I think if anything, they win by a field goal, and that's why.
So you think it's going to be right around the spread?
I think it'll be right around the spread.
I think Vegas knows will run the bat. 3.5 is a good spread. I think the Bears win by. I think they'll win by a touchdown.
Vegas always knows best. All right, so those are the afternoon games. We get under the lights, 8:30 at Heinz Field. We talked about the Steelers a little bit. They're hosting the Baltimore Ravens in a matchup between probably the two best teams in the AFC North.
This is one of my favorite rivalries in football.
It's one of the best rivalries in football. These teams that have usually had historically great defenses. That's not the case so much in Pittsburgh anymore. But they still hate each other.
Baltimore #1 in total yards per game. On
the defensive side. They only allow 23 yards per game through the first 3 games of the season. But, I mean, they haven't really played any great offensive juggernauts. They took on the Bills week 1. They only put up 3 points.
Nate Peterman
was terrible.
I'm not even going to say anything. It's just
Nathan Peterman. And then you have what they did last week. That was only against Denver. They held them to 14 points at home. Now they're going on the road. But what stood out to me with Baltimore, Joe Flacco has looked really good. He's had so much time to throw, and Pittsburgh's secondary is flawed.
I think Joe Flacco is that what you're saying?
No. No. Joe Flacco is not elite, but he's playing like he did in 2012 when they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so this game in Pittsburgh last year's high scoring one, correct?
It was 39-38. Pittsburgh muscled out a win. They won both games last season when these two teams played, and ultimately that's what kept Baltimore out of the playoffs because they missed it by a game. So I think it will be another battle on Heinz Field, just like it was last year. High scoring, I think, even though that the Baltimore does have the best defense in the league.
Baltimore's defense is what keeps them in the game.
Right. But I don't think that,
because I don't know
with the way that Ben Roethlisberger has been playing, he's been playing great, even though the team has been showing it. He threw for 353 yards last week. So I think that this game has the potential, to be very high scoring. You look at 50.5 points. That's around a 28-25 game that overhits. I kind of like it. I like it a lot, especially because Baltimore put up 27 against Denver's defense, who is a world higher than Pittsburgh's defense. I know it's going to be at Pittsburgh, but that doesn't mean the defense is going to overperform. If anything, that means Pittsburgh offense is going to beat what is a very good Baltimore secondary, and it's just going to be a very high-scoring game. I love points on this one.
And I bet against the Steelers last week, got burned. I don't want to do that again this week. I think Pittsburgh -3 is a good pick. I think they cover. Very close game, though.
You think Pittsburgh covers in this game?
I think very close. I think they're going to win. 3 points is pretty safe for me.
All right. Well, hey, you like the spread.
I think they
win.
I like the
over.
To be honest, I think they win by exactly 3 points.
So you're calling a push.
I'm calling them. I think they win
by
exactly
bold
3
move.
Points. I think they win on a last-second field goal.
Maybe it should be a
very close game. Should be. I see this game going down to. I think it's going to be so close this game. I'm excited for this game. It's the best rivalry in football right now.
All right, so those are the best games of the week. You love Penn State, right? That's your lock?
That's my lock of the week. A home dog in college football. Oh, my God. Do I love home dogs.
All right, you love that. I love the Colts in an essential pick 'em, as we keep saying. -1 at home against Houston. A really bad team. 0-3 against the spread.
Special shout-out, Houston +25.5.
Take Hughes plus 25.5 against
4-0
Clemson.
against the spread.
Hughes is 4-0 against the spread. Clemson, there's a controversy. Who knows how great their redshirt freshman is?
Middle school drama? Is that what he called it?
Yup.
He's like, this ain't middle school. Like, Clemson, they're still good. They're probably going to beat us.
Well, they're definitely going to win at Death Valley. They're not going to win by 25
4-0
points.
against the spread. I expect you 5-0 against the spread come Sunday morning.
I believe that that's an essential lock for both of us this week. Definitely take that. We're not biased. Believe in Eric Dungy. Believe in points. But
Plus 25.
for the first episode of Money in the Bank, I think it went really well.
That was good.
It's been a lot of fun. Tune in next week. We'll give you all of the same stuff. Week 5 of the NFL, Week 6 of college football. Tune in next week. Make yourself some money this week. Listen to us.